also remember when this game got announced, my almost initial immediate thought was, okay, this is kind of cool for women's college basketball. Like, I think it's good to have it come back, but it's just never going to be what it was. So we shouldn't really pretend like it's a rivalry anymore because it's just not. Like, these two teams every single year were fighting to be the best team in the country. Most of those games that they played in the regular season were one versus two matchups. They met a bunch in the Final Four, whether it be the semifinal or the national championship game. I mean, UConn's first five national championships, every single one of them, they had to go through Tennessee at some point to get there, which is just incredible when you think about two teams could meet that often, have such high stake games. I guess kind of the way Notre Dame was in more recent years, but there was just never anything like that. And I don't think it can ever get back to that. I don't really know if it's possible to even replace that again. I mean, UConn Tennessee was such a unique thing. And then the fact that there was such a ready made replacement in Notre Dame where they kind of picked up that mantle and had a different type of rivalry where they'd play sometimes four times a year. And two of those games would be with trophies on the line. But even still, it never had that intensity and that white hot, I guess, anger that UConn Tennessee had. And when it came back, I just felt like it could never reach that. So why even try? It seemed like there was just a definitive buzz around the game this year. And then obviously having the drama that unfolded during the game helped with UConn's big comeback, Paige getting hurt, her rising from the dead to hit that shot. I mean, that game was just all over Sports Center the next morning. That still resonates with a general audience in a way that really any other rivalry besides Notre Dame probably won't.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's exactly it. It's not going to ever be the rivalry it was. That was so much about it being Gino versus Pat, and then two programs that were kind of just at like the top of college basketball consistently, and UConn and Tennessee. Obviously, UConn's still been at the top consistently. Tennessee has not. So it's not without Pat and without kind of that sustained excellence from Tennessee. It's not going to be what it was, but it's still a really good game. It's still two huge names in the women's basketball space that when you put it on national television draws attention. People are going to watch, and I think, like you said, that's just so huge to have people that are casual fans sit down and watch women's basketball games is how you kind of grow the game and how you get people invested in watching more of Paige Beckers, watching more of Ray Burrell for Tennessee, whatever kind of player it is. But without, those big kind of big ticket games that are really easy to market, it's harder to grow that casual audience. And this is one of those games that everyone remembers, the Gino versus Pat. Even if you're just a casual basketball fan that doesn't really pay attention to women's basketball, you're probably aware of that old rivalry. So you're going to sit down and watch this game, and hopefully it brings more fans to more, when UConn's playing Marquette or whatever on Fox instead of Tennessee. But it's still a really good game. It's still going to be competitive. It's still going to have on the schedule. Never be what it was, but that doesn't mean it's not worth playing.